You don't expect ants or a rusty shovel behind a suburban woodpile, not a 52-year-old HOA officer in khakis with binoculars and a fading energy bar hissing shush like a cartoon bad guy as you stroll by with your compost bin. You certainly don't expect the sheriff's Malinois to jump the fence, slam him into the ground, and bite his rear while your wife drops a photo of iced tea screaming loud enough to make car alarms the house 3 doors down. But that's the way my Wednesday began. I was already frightened. It began with the neighbor's child dousing our mailbox with discount cologne for some passing meme. Then the trash truck skipped our block, igniting a group text from Karen for doors down, with the subject Garbage Apocalypse, HOA Action, necessary 32 messages in 6 minutes, including a dog meme and a picture of a found trash bag captioned, "This is why we require a cleansing." So when I stumbled to the side yard to dispose of grass clippings behind the woodpile, I wasn't prepared for a man huddled there like a crazed squirrel. I shrieked, "Hey!" Hoping he would run off instead, he shooted me as if I were intruding on his steak dinner and whispered, "Get inside, this is official." Official in my yard, that's when I saw Victor Crane, HOA president, the man who previously cited me for unharmonious driveway gravel and plastered yard maintenance commandments pamphlets in all mailboxes. Victor wasn't only lurking with snooping binoculars focused across the street, writing in a notebook like a conspiracy crank on a bender. I was getting ready to ask whether sneaking up on neighbors was HOA approved, when sirens wailed nearby and closing in fast, followed by yapping, squealing tires and yelling, "What's going on?" I demanded. "Move back," Victor snapped. "They can't suspect I'm here." That's when Titan pulled up Sheriff's K9, a 100-pound fur missile named Officer Titan, trained to detect drugs, missing children, and reportedly lawless HOA dictators. The fence had no chance. One moment it was intact, the next it was tinder, and Titan was flying over the alias and plunging onto a Victor's back. Time slowed my wife. Laura screamed, Titan snarled, Victor squealed, flailing, cursing in a voice that could shatter glass. A wet crunch indicated Titan's teeth contacted flesh. Victor fell to the ground, clutching his rear, complaining about lawsuits. By the time Sheriff Dan Walsh's cruiser arrived, the neighborhood was a circus. Sirens attract retirees. Like moths to a flame, some pretty much materialized. Karen was shooting, wearing a we're-watching cap, chewing gum as though auditioning for CSI Old Man. Harper stood shirtless, holding a silent weed-eater. A kid I didn't know was live streaming. Walsh got out, eyed Victor, then me, then Titan, who sat proud, tail thumping. Funny thing, Walsh drawled, sliding on sunglasses. We weren't here for him. We were chasing someone else that flipped the script. I thought Victor was just being his usual overzealous self, but if the sheriff wasn't after him, who were they hunting? Victor still sprawled. "When I need a lawyer, you'll get one," Walsh said. "But first explain this." He held up Victor's notebook, dropped in the chaos pages filled with license plates, timestamps, drawings of homes, including ours with red X's. My name was there. Carter House, sporadic visitor patterns, possible abuses highlighted like a manifesto. "Are we suspects?" I asked. Victor groaned. "You don't understand, something's going on here. I have evidence they're watching us." "Who's they?" Laura demanded. "I don't know," he grumbled, looking at a dandelion. "But they're out there." Titan licked his face, provoking another wail. I jeered, "Too many spy movies, Vic." Then Walsh's radio crackled, found another one behind Larson's shed. Same model, live feed, active a camera. Walsh looked at me. "Anything else back there other than Mr. Crane?" I shook my head. "Mind if we check?" We split the woodpile, and there it was. A blinking red light. A camera buried among logs. Dusty wired, camouflaged. Victor wasn't all crazy. Just mostly the camera wasn't a prank. Its casing was weathered, wires hidden in mulch battery taped to blend with bark. This was worked out. Professional Walsh crouched muttering, and referred to Deputy Ruiz, a kid barely old enough to cast a ballot who scooped it like it could explode. Karen explained for her phone's secret camera in the woodpile. Itch leaned on Titan's a hero espionage or worse tune in Victor. Now in an ambulance with an ice pack around his butt, rambled on about them, and someone named Diane asked who Diane was. He'd clammed up, telling her she knew this was about to happen. The medic sedated him and he began, reciting HOA codes like a preacher that night. Laura and I stood in the kitchen, reeling a camera. a bitten HOA nut, a sheriff on speed dial. This wasn't our life. We fought about organic kale, not conspiracies after some wine, and a strained debate about lawyers. I couldn't sleep. I took a flashlight and combed the woodpile. That's when I saw it. Another red dot, deeper, smaller, older, another camera taunting me with its pulse. Someone had been spying on our barbecues, my pajama-wearing mowing Laura's struggles with the trash panda pilfering our peppers. I left it alone, chilled next morning. Ruiz came back, blurred with donuts. We discovered 4 additional cameras, same model, all at houses with HOA grievances. He stated encrypted feeds. Not normal security. He dropped the bombshell Victor's. Not wrong. He's out of his mind, but somebody's watching, and it's not him. He turned over decrypted notes from Victor's book. Every house tracked car types, delivery times, even green tote Tuesdays 3:10 p.m. for the Hendersons. He was profiling patterns, Ruiz said, either paranoid or onto something big. Then Diane called Victor's ex-former HOA treasurer, ousted in his power grab. She insisted on meeting at a Greasy Spoon 15 miles out, saying, "The neighborhood's not safe." Laura and I went, half expecting a trap. Diane, all business, blazer crisp even in the heat. Coffee untouched it. It began when Victor queried the old landscapers. She refused bids, just a private company. Then he raised fees, unofficial, referring to them as community enhancement dues. People paid thinking it was legitimate. How much? I queried. More than $40,000 before I departed. She said, gliding over a USB records footage. Victor had no knowledge. I kept it. He was surveilled too. Whoever installed those cameras. They were monitoring him. We had left shaken. The USB wasn't merely Fiji, it had invoices from the mayor's office to Silverleaf Landscaping, a phantom company charging $600,000 for non-existent park improvements. No new trees, no flowers, anything. I spent the night. Laptop glowing, sorting through Diane's files. Silverleaf was everywhere, phony, before photos, faked up invoices, all signed by the mayor's aide. Laura came in at 1 a.m. blanket, wrapped, muttering, "This is a syndicate." She wasn't mistaken. Ruiz came by at 9, resembling death, with a picture of a hooded individual by our fence carrying a bag. Not Victor's prints, he told Teen Smallfeet. Maybe a teen, another camera at the Larsons, same setup, tied to HOA fines. He disclosed Victor's panic room, soundproof, lead-lined, filled with safes, and files labeled dying evidence and shadow phase. Photos revealed neighbors walking dogs, kids playing, all time-stamped. One note on me. Shifted planter 2 in non-compliant, investigate. Victor did not snap. Ruiz claimed he believed he was making a case at the sheriff's office. Walsh, a battle-hardened guy who could detect a lie quicker than a snake bite, asked, "You going on record?" I paused. I wasn't a hero but a coder who overwatered his lawn, but I nodded. "It's bigger than Victor, the mayor's in it." Walsh pushed over a photo, the mayor and Victor smiling by a silver leaf truck holding hedge clippers, like trophies from the panic room. He declared HOA funds ended up in a shell corporation belonging to the mayor's brother. "We need more." He proposed to me a Roland official, tracking down leads. I was no spy, but I was finished. Diane's footage depicted a figure at our storm drain. Not the hooded kid, but taller, dropping a duffel. I zoomed in the mayor's aide that night. I took a shovel and struck the drain. The stench was filthy mud rot. I had the bag heavy drenched within, wrapped bills marked USBs. I rang. "Walsh, you located the Green Fund," he told, gazing at the corridor, the mayor's park budget. "Somebody wanted?" Victor quiet. "Why tap our line?" I inquired. Victor didn't trust anybody. Walsh told he was bait. The neighborhood had an altered tints under its neat facade, sprinklers hissed. Karen patrolled, but the air crackled. The Green Fund news leaked. Teenagers referred to it as sewer cash. The mayor's office remained silent. Damning in its silence, USBs exposed cameras, townwide schools, parks, libraries fed to anonymous servers disguised as green upgrades. One invoice itemized, treetop surveillance, observes the aide accused Victor of having pitched a safety monitoring pilot. Victor's paranoia had been turned into a surveillance empire, plucking data for insurers, developers, whoever paid at the annual pet parade. The mayor was to speak, but disappeared. I took advantage, storming the podium. "Your park funds built cameras and not gardens." I insisted, clutching an indictment $600 for nothing our homes our lives sold. Silence, then chaos. The mayor's golf cart tore swerving towards a shed. Titan broke loose, tackling him mid-full. The crowd roared, kids screamed, a band froze. Poodle in a bow, won by default. Walsh cuffed the mayor on fraud, and resisting Titan news vans swarmed. HOA froze, and Walsh launched Operation Clean Sweep. A sting to gut the ring, he hired me to pose as a landscaper selling special mulch to suspect houses in a borrowed truck. I struck a Leodan address, connected to $10,000 in green contracts. A smooth operator, all teeth and no socks, bid arranging a drop at a dilapidated garden shed. I dropped fake cash. Walsh's team arrested 2 tech firm grunts who dropped names and memos on data sales. The scandal exploded. Headlines screamed, "Green Scam Titan earned a fan page." I became compost cop, Victor now, folk hero blogger, rants that hit the mark. The truth: the HOA broke up, replaced by a council headed by Diane, who thanked Titan in her address. Walsh hired me a consultant job with badge keychain. I accepted just when it looked done. I discovered a new camera under my eaves, sleek, quiet, streaming to an overseas IP. Walsh's team wasn't able to track it. "We're not completed," he said a week hence. An envelope came. Drone photos of our street me, with coffee stamped yesterday. Then the second photos of Victor Grocery runs his kitchen, and one taken in a basement. Hands folded, looking at a lens hours ago. Walsh burgled Victor's house. Bare a neighbor witnessed him enter a black van, serene, like he knew a secret room in his garage contained Phase 4 files, blueprints for worldwide surveillance behavioral algorithms. Cross-state networks, Fed, swooped in. Sealed it off and cut us out. Victor vanished, relocated or silenced. No one knew the neighborhood tried normally barbecues. New shrubs, but eyes lingered on lampposts one night. A hard drive showed up on my porch. No note, just a program, a map of our town, dots tracking us. Tagged with habits, walks dogs, 7:15 a.m. Leaves, gate open Fridays, no lights, no drones. But they were there, watching,